Welcome to Let's Play, the best Harvest Moon game never made. This is Stardew Valley. It's one of those indie games that became so popular it sort of took over the internet. It is heavily inspired by Harvest Moon, particularly the first SNES one, and it has a lot of elements in it that Harvest Moon players have wanted for a long time, so it became very successful. A guy bought a farm because of this game. It was only developed by one guy, Concerned Ape. In fact, he's still working on it. There's still updates on the way, including multiplayer. And it's had an impressive shelf life so far. It's been out for a couple of years, but even I'm still going back to it, to the point that I decided I think I can do a full Let's Play of this. Returning from the Farm Fucks trilogy, I am joined once again by Yamino Senshi.
I brought my own shovel this time.
And Skippy decided to step out because we did 3 LPs at once before. He'd rather not do that again. But luckily, Yami's wife has played enough of this game for everyone in this Discord chat, so welcome Irish Rodent.
Thank you very much. Good day, gents and ladies.
Now, I teased in Animal Parade that I was going to do something a little different for this best. I thought, what would be an interesting concept for, like, where did best come from? She's just this character that we came up with, this girl who goes to these random farming communities and takes over. Maybe she's not actually from this world. So this best, I'm going to consider her the progenitor of all of the bests. She's an alien creature from another planet who's come down to observe humans and understand them, and also take over the farming town of Pelican Town. There it is, the perfect alien shirt.
So all the bests in the future are a hive mind of the proto-alien best.
It only makes sense.
I, for one, welcome our new best overlord.
I love that permanent happy smile.
Real human.
Because she is.
Totally. Nothing to see here.
But her favorite thing is spiders.
No, not spiders.
Now, at first, I tried to think of what would be a good alien designation for her that would look like the word best. This is how I wrote it at first. I later changed it to 8357. So, 8357, or best, is her name. And she likes purple.
So, just to put things in perspective, while Thorn and Irish have played the shit out of this game, I know only things from hearsay and reading, and I haven't even watched any videos on it much, so I'll be the guy asking the questions.
Fair enough. Now, a lot of this LP was planned well in advance. In fact, as of recording this, I've recorded everything else. And one of the things that I had people vote on was which of the farms we would use. This was added in patch 1.1. You can start out with different farm layouts. They function around different things you could do on the farm, and aside from the first one, they limit all the farming land, like where you could put crops and animals. And because people are jerks, they chose the wilderness farm, which is where monsters turn up at night.
Welcome to Dwarf Fortress Stardew Valley Edition. Why is the Luigi version of Santa giving us things?
Cinta. Now, Stardew Valley is such a Harvest Moon fans game. It starts out like all the classic ones with your grandpa dying.
Gotta start up on a cheerful note.
It goes a little more into it, at least. We don't go straight to the farm. Now, people that played the game, you look up in the top right corner, you might recognize at least one thing over there.
Hey, I see that.
It's a pointy stick. Okay, so this takes place in the Mega Man timeline?
20 years later. Joja Corporation is the evil corporation of this world. As you can see.
totally not supposed to be Amazon.
I love that. The cowboy dude licking his lips is just so wrong. In earlier builds of the game, I don't know, or maybe it's just random, there's supposed to be one of the people in the cubicle who's a skeleton. Like, he's just dead.
There was one empty desk. I wonder if maybe they took that out because it was a little too much.
Though, I mean, that's a pretty impressively sized screen.
That's because when I started the recording, I hadn't zoomed out.
No, I mean, like the one she's sitting in front of.
Oh, right.
It was gigantic.
Maybe Best is just tiny.
She was sitting a lot lower than everyone else.
Well, you say it's a big screen, but clearly the icons are all huge.
Well, I mean, it's clearly down at 480. It's like this kind of mashes together all the different Harvest Moon openings. Because some of them are, your grandpa died, some of them are, modern life sucks, let's get the hell out. It's both.
Nice jig, bird. I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm probably pointing out every character has their own portraits. Their expressions will change depending on what they're saying.
Like, actually, I think you were just picking Robin's nose.
I saw some sawdust in there. She is a carpenter.
Pelican Town is a town with a disproportionately high quantity of redheads. Robin being one of them.
So I do like, throughout this LP, nobody's going to bat an eye at Beth just being a number. Or, you know, green.
Maybe Joja is the alien hive that she comes from.
Oddly enough, there are some pretty interesting glitches that you can do in this game involving naming yourself with numbers.
I think I've read about some of that. I'll have to experiment with that. This is Mayor Lewis. Got the nice little flat cap. Looking like a proper country granddad.
Sonny, one day the newsies are gonna be popular again and I'll be ready.
You do realize that's our house, right, Robin?
Which you can buy at her house for 30,000 gold. You need to run the gamut of Harvest Mooniness. That slow, creepy turn.
Just drop by your house at night to see whatever's in your box. And your garbage. And easily visible through your windows.
That is one thing that I like about Stardew Valley over the old Harvest Moon games, is that it truly is, when you go to bed is when the box gets emptied, so you don't have to worry about rushing back home in time for 5 p.m. in order to make your profit for that day.
That did annoy me, like way back in Harvest Moon 64.
Did you just move that window?
Yep, the window is just a decoration. All the decorations in your house, you just click on them and move them around. It functions differently from everything else in the game. Like, I think you use the left mouse clicker if you're playing with a mouse and keyboard like I am. So, everything else, I think you'd use the right button. It's complicated, just in case you accidentally pick something up and don't know how to put it down.
P-snips.
P-snips, finally. Actually P-snips.
We've been making that joke for months now, and this is actually the first time we've got P-snips.
The game gives you a little journal for you to keep track of everything you're working on. I don't think it keeps track of requests and missions that you've completed, just what's active right now. You only start out with a handful of inventory slots, but we'll be able to upgrade it later. There, that's a better looking screen.
1400 by 900, what is this?
It's called downscaling. These are all our relationships. Anyone we haven't talked to is just question marks, but everyone we have, you can see they've got 10 hearts. One nice thing, in some Harvest Moon games, you would have to constantly keep your friendship going with people. In this one, if you max out your friendship, you never need to talk to them again.
Just like in real life.
One annoying thing, though, is you can only give them 2 gifts in a whole week. It just does drag things out a little longer.
With the exception of their birthday. You can give them 3 gifts in 1 week if their birthday is that week.
And it is a massive boost to their friendship when you do.
Assuming you're intelligent and give them something they like.
Right. Don't go the other way. So just clearing things out right now. You can see my energy down in the bottom right. It is not going down with the sickle, but it does go down with the axe and the pickaxe. The sickle sort of counts as a weapon, and weapons do not reduce your energy. You can use your other tools as weapons, but they don't do any real damage.
Farming is exhausting. Murder
Easy.
is empowering.
Trees take a while, I think 15 hits with these base tools.
So I'm getting a definite Terraria vibe.
I think it's the sound effects.
Could be similar sound font.
I think it's also the way like stuff kind of explodes out of the tree and then you just suck it all up right into your pants.
We'll be doing more with that cave a little later. We actually need to befriend one of the people first. Can't chop down that stump. I think we need to upgrade to a steel axe first, which is the second upgrade.
I think it's iron?
Steel will be cooler, though. I just needed to clear out a little spot. I'd keep my crops right in front of my house. I don't really need to put them anywhere else.
Ah, so each bag is only one spot.
Right. They're relatively cheap, though. And also, when we chop down some of those weeds, we got mixed seeds. Those are basically just random seasonal seeds. They could be anything.
Your energy bar is very upset.
Yeah. I can push it a little bit. But every time I water, it took 2 energy. And of course, it's an indie game you can buy on Steam, so there is a crafting system. It's very simple, though.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's mandatory. You're not allowed to get listed if you don't. If I remember correctly, I think even, like, a rep from Natsume came out and said, like, yeah, Stardew Valley completely ate our lunch. Do not eat daffodils. Daffodils are not food.
No, eat the daffodil. It'll give you your energy back.
I feel like in early builds of the game it did, but it doesn't anymore.
Is that one of the 0 health, 0 energy ones now?
Yeah, the dandelion I can eat, though.
Oh, okay.
Dandelion greens are food. But it's one of those weird things where, like, you only actually see it in high-end places.
The leaves of this weed are a delicacy.
Pretty much.
That bus stop is... it's not going to be really useful until we can actually fix the bus. Even though we came here on the bus, it immediately broke down.
They didn't show it, but Best actually pushed it the last half mile. With their bizarre alien strength.
So in front of that shop is where we're going to buy our seeds, generally. There's a calendar. It tells you everyone's birthday and any festivals coming up. And there's also a help wanted board. That's where we get our general side quests.
Do you have any mods installed, or does mousing over the blue throbbing circle actually show you what their heart level is?
It actually shows you what their heart level is. I don't have any mods installed for this, but I have recorded a side character specifically for showing off mods. There are some cool ones.
I have over 150 hours in this game, and I don't think I ever knew that you could see what the numerical value of your friendship was.
Yeah. The color changes every 2 hearts you get with someone. Mama says not to talk with strangers, but I'm immediately ignoring her. I'm old enough for it.
Are you rooting through people's trash already?
Yep, you can do that, and sometimes you can get some really cool stuff. Broken Glasses isn't quite that yet, except later on you can make a recycling machine and turn it into quartz, and then it's quite useful.
That's more like a reverse entropy machine.
Emily there is actually a character who was so popular that in the 1.1 patch they made her a bachelorette.
Okay, and you're destroying her shrubbery.
There's still weeds. If she wants her shrubs, she should keep them indoors.
But that's like a Harvest Moon 1 take. Having their bedrooms, but you can't go in it.
Yeah, you need to get them up to 2 hearts first.
Oh wow, the Earth Girls are easy.
And Earth Boys. You know, you are right. I'm realizing it. There are a lot of redheads around here.
I still am not sure how to pronounce her name. How would you pronounce that?
Maru?
Okay.
Yeah. What was the alternative?
I've also heard Maru.
Yeah, I don't really know.
I think that's just the ship from Star Trek.
Alex, I don't feel like is the most popular guy. He's not the deepest character, though he does have a bit of a backstory. But you don't really find that out unless you befriend him, and I held a poll to decide which of the bachelors or bachelorettes I would attempt to woo. Stardew Valley does something that none of the Harvest Moons do, in that you can woo both men and women. I think Alex got no votes. And he was the only person to not get any votes.
Okay, so George is my spirit animal, and Pam is clearly watching you from between the blinds.
She's just an alcoholic. And that's like the only time she's aggressive to you. Ah, I just missed it. That's the blacksmith's. We go there to upgrade our tools. No, I don't need to come here yet. This is the museum. One of the things you can do, as you walk around the game, sometimes you'll see things that look like worms just sticking up out of the ground, and you can dig there And sometimes there'll be a cool little artifact. You can bring that back here to Gunther. Off on the right side of the building is a display room. You just set it down there, and sometimes you'll get rewards.
I'm sorry, I was distracted by the Civil War soldier behind the desk.
Yep. I don't know why. He looks like that. Oh, speaking of Joja. Well, if you really wanted to satisfy your customers, you'd set fire to this building. So you do have a bit of a choice of what you could do in this. Without giving it away, because we haven't seen it yet, you can either decide to help out the town, or work with Joja and help them out instead. Joja does sell a number of things, most of which you can buy at that other shop. But for whatever reason, Joja, despite being a massive corporation, sells them for more money. So it's kind of a waste, but they are open every day of the week. The other shop is closed on Wednesdays. So it's up to you if you want to be a shill. Which I will be in another save. I'm making another character specifically to help Joja.
Capitalism, ho!
I'm a capitalism hoe.
Aren't we all?
Well, we are suburban Americans. Some of these buildings just have backyards full of weeds. On days after the first day, there will be forage around the town. And if you clear out the weeds, that's another place where the forage can pop up. So it's a good idea to do that. The weeds don't respawn, but the forage will. I'm avoiding that building, because it's not relevant yet. I can't get back there, because I don't have any energy. I can't eat a weed.
Just enough energy to
Break a rock.
destroy some weeds and... Okay, so let's start with the questions. What is the punishment for staying up too late?
The game forces you right back to your house. You have until 2 in the morning, and then you just pass out. And no, 2 in the morning is not enough time to really do what you want.
And I believe there are 2 tiers prior to that, one at midnight and one at 1 a.m. that will decrease the amount of energy that you start the next day with.
Yeah.
So you have a under-rested penalty as well.
So the saloon is a good place to come to in the evening, because a lot of characters will show up here. Most characters like beer as a gift, so if you got the money, it's a good thing to buy and sort of just spread it around town. Buy a round for everyone. There's Clint, he's the blacksmith, we couldn't see him earlier. I think the reason people like beer is because generally people like what are called artisan gifts, and beer counts as that rather than specifically as some alcohol-type gift. But there are people who especially like alcohol, and that includes Pam and that grumpy dude in the corner, Shane.
And me.
And you. The beach doesn't have much going on right now. Later on, it'll have shellfish just lying along the sand. There's another thing to do.
300 pieces of wood.
Actually, not that difficult to get.
To fix a plank bridge. What are they, matchsticks?
Kinda, you saw them.
There is also one character in the game who explicitly hates getting beer as a gift.
Yeah.
Is it you?
Yes.
I think we met her, Penny. She's the daughter of Pam. And when you're the daughter of Pam, you don't like alcohol.
Also, another fun fact about one of the townspeople we just met in that previous section. You have a quest to meet all 28 of the townspeople.
Mm-hmm.
The man behind the desk, the Civil War guy at the museum, does not count.
Nope, he's not really a character like everyone else is. My theory as to why he even exists is because the game is programmed so that you can only access shops if there's someone behind the counter. There's at least one case where you can actually exploit that. We'll be showing that off way late in the LP. And also a quick side note, this is an area you can only access when you've upgraded your axe to steel. And I'm going to try to do that before the end of summer for a specific reason, which we'll discuss later. But my guess is Gunther's only there so you can actually donate things to the museum. Because he doesn't have a heart meter, and you can't actually talk to him like all the other characters.
So he is a Civil War ghost who deserted and is now cursed there until you finish the museum collection.
Canon.
I think he does attend some of the festivals, though. I could be mistaken on that.
I don't think festivals count as increasing friendship when you talk to people, though.
That is correct.
So maybe that's how they get away with it. And there was our first monster. It was a slime. It was basic, but not basic enough for my sickle to be effective against it. So I'm gonna need to get a proper weapon soon. Thankfully, the monsters that you see on your farm are equivalent to your level, so I'm not really gonna see anything strong out here. I'm gonna hang on to that daffodil, because most people also like daffodils as gifts. General wildflowers, don't give them dandelions, though. They don't like those. And at the end of every day, it tallies up the money you get from every item you've shipped, and then you're off to the next day. But that was our first day. The only thing I missed is there's a show called Living Off the Land, which gives you hints how to play the game. It has new episodes all the way until the end of year 2, at which point they start reruns, but I forgot to watch the TV today, so I'll just put up the first episode's text here. But we got a good start to the LP. Already doing things that I like, and already doing things that annoy me, but, well, we'll see how it goes from there.
Okay, but what do I do with this shovel?
You need to go out and find yourself some worms.
Okay, I'll see you guys in the next episode.
Say hi to the worms for me.